Hey guys and gals, how you doing? This is the Big Dog, Benny Henderson Jr., and I'm coming at you from Music Wire Online. And right now we're on the line with a gentleman who is in a band called The Fifth, a really tremendous North Carolina rock band. Really good. They got a new. See, that's why I don't do these things sober because I forget. But when I'm drinking, I'm a lot better. But they have a new single called "No Going Home," which is a really good. Really good song. Sounds great. Rocks great. But we have the lead vocalist on the line, Roy Cathey. How you doing, brother?
Benny, what's happening? Happy Labor Day to you, brother.
Oh, back at you. Hey, I was listening earlier to the new single, "No Going Home," man. I got to say that it's a really rocking song, brother. Y'all really hit it big with this one.
Thank you so much, man. We're very proud of it. The band's been together for about 15 years, and we've kind of finally found our niche, so to speak. I think this song walks a very fine line between, good, dark, sludgy, classic rock, Sabbath type sound to the modern rock sounds of today. We're kind of what I like to consider mutt rock. We're a little bit of everything. So I really appreciate it, man. We're getting a tremendous response on the song.
Yeah, but see that has to be a good deal because you're talking about like mutt rock because you're not pigeonholed into one certain sound. I guess that's a blessing right there.
Well, we are a product of our influences, and the guys. We come from an era where we were fortunate enough to grow up with music from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and of course the 2000 years. And it's just a melting pot of metal. This is what I like to say. We kind of draw from our influences, but we don't blend. We don't tend to lean on any one particular influence. So I think we've got a pretty good mixture in there.
Yeah, and the song itself. Talk a little bit about the song. Is there a meaning behind it? Because I got a sense of I got a sense of a meaning to it, but it's not my. It's. I guess what I'm trying to get to. Just give us the insights on this song.
Well, it's one of those songs where I immediately picked up a vibe off of it. The song deals with it deals with the family betrayal, religious betrayal. It deals with a lot of darker issues. The song just kind of deals with issues that questioning things that you were always told your entire life, whether it be through family or through religion or through any of those heavy subjects. But it's one of those songs that I kind of visualized it right from the beginning when the guys started riffing on it, and I really liked the direction that it was going in. It had, to me, it has a very a Black Sabbath-y kind of vibe, along with a little bit of some Soundgarden thrown in, and it's just got a good mixture of old and new, in my opinion.
Yeah, and my biggest letdown as a child was when I found out there was no Santa. So.
Hey, look, I remember the bastard that broke that news to me when I was about 9 years old. He was neighbor Steve Wilson. I'll never forget him for it.
Yeah.
In the long run, I'm kind of glad that he broke that news to me.
Well, you know what, brother? I'm being completely honest, Roy. My kids, I have two kids because they're a lot older. My son's 19, my daughter's 14. But I didn't teach them about Santa Claus. I let them know that their dad worked his ass off for those little cheap toys. Because I didn't want them to be like, they're going to be like, what else did you lie to me about, Dad? Did you lie to me about, talking about religion, did you lie about, I told them to say their prayers at night. Did you lie to me about that? Or what about, now I did, their dogs and their cats did run away, by the way. They did really run away.
So. Well, I've got two kids as well. My daughter actually turned 16 this coming week, and my son is 13. And I've been upfront with my children about anything. They're very inquisitive, and I've pretty much taken the parental role of honesty, complete honesty, and it's an open door policy with me. It doesn't matter what the subject is. So, if my kids ask, I don't lie to them, man, because in a lot of ways, and the way things go in life, I think in the earlier earlier years, you know, in the Beaver Cleaver years through the you know the 50s and stuff. You know, I think a lot of people were indoctrinated in a lot of mindsets that later on, when they discovered that those things weren't necessarily true, they're kind of confused at the end in a lot of ways. So I believe in honesty with my kids and let them find their own path, because they're smart kids, you know. So I'm very proud of them, as I'm sure you are with yours.
No, exactly. No, mine are little bastards. But anyways, but no, I'm just kidding. I love my kids. But no, but you're right though. Seriously, I have found out with my wife and my two children, if you're just honest, like you said, the open door policy, it really strengthens the relationship. I mean, I'm very close to my two kids as my wife, and we're a really tight knit family. I mean, we could talk about anything, and I tell them the truth. You know, I said, hey, your mom's a complete idiot. So I'm always honest. So,
She doesn't hear that.
yeah, no, she doesn't. Luckily, she don't listen to the program. Then again, she probably does. You know, she probably does. But
You are so busted.
yeah, I'm telling you, man, I am like in trouble. But you know, like I said, I like the new single, "No Going Home." And it does have some really good vibes to it. I kind of got, and please don't scold me, but I kind of had a vibe of kind of like an Alice in Chains vibe a little bit to it. I mean, just not a lot, but just a little bit.
That's totally understandable and totally viable. My guitar player actually spent a few years living in the Seattle area, and I think he actually was at a house party one time with Lane Staley before they actually got big back in the day. So my guitar player Icky Jim is originally from Los Angeles, so the stories that he has from his LA and Seattle days are quite entertaining. But you can only imagine with a guy the name of Icky Jim.
It sounds like a wrestler, like, here comes Icky Jim, and he is, you know, or a basketball player.
Guns N' Roses had Slash, I had Icky.
Yeah, exactly. You got Izzy, you got Icky. I hear you, man. Icky sounds like a really cool sidekick. So,
yeah, man, the guy is, you know, we all run across these people in our lives. You know, me and him have been making music together for over 10 years now, and I honestly believe that when there's a nuclear holocaust, I think that cockroaches, Keith Richards, and Icky Jim will survive and thrive during these times. Because, man, that dude's like a buck 20 soaking wet, man. But I've seen him throw back some booze and lay some bigger men out, man. He's quite a character, man. But I guess you say that's my musical soulmate, and he's a really great guy, man. We've been friends and collaborators for over 10 years now. So
who would have seen, what was that meme with Keith Richards? I outlived Elvis, Whitney Houston, Prince, and Michael Jackson. Who'd have seen that coming? I mean, seriously. Well, what's upcoming for you guys? I know you guys, of course, in October y'all have the Rockin' Skull Festival, man. I said Skull, not School. I think I said Skull, but Skull Festival.
We're excited about that one. This is I believe this is our third year performing at it. We've become alumni at that festival, and we really look forward to it because we get to perform for fans from all over the country and all over the world. But basically what we're doing right now is we are finishing up our shows for the year, and we are planning to get into the studio and finish up our EP, and we should have that out early 2017. But with all musical projects and all bands, there's always some internal strife and struggle, and we're in the process of reworking in a new drummer who is actually an old drummer of ours. So we're welcoming Chuck Tipton back into the band. He played with us for a few years and then had to split. But we're excited to have Chuck back in, and once we get him worked in these last couple of songs tightened up, we're going to head back into the studio and finally get some new music put out.
You say that, about the internal, and I'm asking this because, I'm saying this because, I've dealt with a lot of musicians, and, people, it's like they're on the outside looking in, they're not on the inside looking out. They see a guy, let's say for you, for instance, oh, he's a musician, he's on stage, he may have a video, he has this, they see rock star status. They don't see the hard work and dedication and the ups and downs that you guys go through. Can you kind of talk about that? Because it's especially this day and age, it's not easy to stay relevant, man.
Well, it's really not, and the music industry has changed tremendously since the internet age, and it's a whole different ball of wax now. I was fortunate enough and lucky enough. I was signed to a band back in '89, '90, signed to MCA Records called Cold Sweat, and I got to tour all over the country and several different countries, and we got to open for Ronnie James Dio, and the band was managed by Wendy Dio, and I got to record our record at the world famous Sound City recording studios, and I was actually signed to a band back in the day where you got a recording advance and a merchandising advance and a publishing advance, and it's a completely different ball game now, and it's a whole different subject and a much longer interview to discuss the ins and outs of how the internet has been a blessing and a curse for the entertainment industry. But it's really hard out there. I mean, if I did this for the money, I would have quit this business a long, long time ago. But I started singing in bands when I was 14, 15 years old. I'm a show business baby. I just love singing and performing, and I'm a creative person. And if I don't have that type of creative outlet in my life, I'm just a miserable SOB. So I truly do this for the love of making music and putting stuff out there and performing. And, it's not about ego. It's not about money. It's about the love of music and performing. So...
Yeah, and Ronnie James Dio was like the smallest dude with the biggest voice ever. I mean, he was a tremendous voice, man. I mean,
and an incredible person, man. I was very fortunate enough to tour with him, for 6 months, and we were managed by his wife Wendy, and I have a lot of very fond memories of private conversations, and he mentored me in a lot of ways, and just being able to stand on the side of the stage and kind of drink that in and night out, really had a big influence on me. So, Ronnie is definitely, one of my main influences as a vocalist. And I consider myself very fortunate that, I was a fan of his before I got the chance to record the record and be managed by his wife and tour with him. So, that's one of the little things that I have, stored away in my memory lockbox that, nobody can take away from me. So, Ronnie was a great man.
That is, my son will be so jealous. He's like a really, really huge fan of Ronnie James Dio. I got to ask this, and all bullshit aside, you was in Cold Sweat, like I said, back in the late 80s, how much Aquanet did you use for that hair? Because
actually, I was fortunate enough that my mother was a beautician for 30 years. I was not an Aquanet guy. I was more of a mousse kind of guy. So I was a mousser, not an Aquanetter. I never permed. I have naturally curly hair, and I was a mousser.
Yeah, it was so awesome. That is so awesome, man. And you ever look back at the styles that we had back then and think, what in the freak was I thinking? I mean,
in the early 80s, early mid 80s, when I was playing the club scene here in the Southeast, man, everybody wore spandex. That was part of the shtick.
Yeah.
I was in a band that toured the Southeastern Circuit called Gibraltar, and you could pull up some pictures of me, in spandex and leg warmers and bandanas. I'm just like, oh, jeez, man, it's funny, but you know what, man, I consider myself lucky that I got to experience that.
Oh, yes.
Because, the bottom is, you know, I'm not going to pull a Gene Simmons and say that rock is dead and all that stuff, because it's obviously not. But you know, I was lucky enough to grow up in an era where, you know, if you played on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night, there'd still be 200-300 people in the venue.
Yeah.
You know, there would still be people out, because back then, before the internet and before social media, you know, if you wanted to go out and get laid, you know, you had to go out to the club. If you wanted to go out and see a band, you had to go out to the clubs. If you wanted to go out and hang out with your friends, you had to go out to the clubs or go to a concert or just go out. You know, nowadays it's just not that way. And you know, the kids nowadays, I feel bad for them, because they're really missing out on a lot of the things that made music so special to us when we were growing up.
Exactly. And I could just I could just see it back in, like, you know, like mid 80s or whatever, and like some chicks coming to a bar and like, oh my gosh, Becky, there he is on stage. Roy, he has the pink leg warmers and the purple spandex. He's so hot. You know, just yeah, that was.
Oh yeah, I remember. But you know, look, man, I'm telling you, back in the day, I mean, you couldn't have any shame in your game when you're walking out on stage in a pair of spandex, man, and you're cocking your leg up on the front monitor wedge, you know, doing the whole, you know, lead singer pose. You know, you had to be a confident dude.
Oh, I could see that. I could just see that. Speaking on stage, man, I asked this a lot of interviews because I have gotten some really, really exciting, boring, but a lot of obscure answers. What's been your most embarrassing moment on stage?
My most embarrassing moment on stage. You know, it has to deal with back in the 80s and the spandex days, and I had a chick. You know, it was a stage that was it was a high stage, but where you know, you kind of had to reach up, and we had a group of girls that were right dead center, you know, right in front of my monitor, and I had a chick just reach up and grab my junk and just hold it. I mean, she just grabbed it, held on to it, squeezed it, and looked over at her girlfriend and goes, "Hey, it's real. Hey, it's here. It's real." And she stood there and held it like she was going to take it home with her. And you're trying to, you know, you don't want to pull away. You know, you're caught in your macho metal moment there, you know. But yeah, I had a girl just totally grab a handful of to kind of validate to her girlfriends that I was, you know, I was not packing a load of socks.
Oh man.
That was kind of an embarrassing moment, you know, because
you know, when a girl grabs your junk and says it's real, that's a compliment, man. I used to pack my spandex, but they said, "Ben, you pack it the wrong way. You look like you shit yourself." Oh, I'm sorry, it went around, you know. So, but
well, you know, you gotta know how to kind of, you know, shift it all to one side. There's an art to it, you know.
Yeah.
You can't have it like spread all out. You got to kind of move everything over to one side. And generally, if you're going to put your left leg up on the floor wedge monitor, you kind of put it down the right leg.
Yeah.
So that's the secret.
That is so funny, man. We're speaking with Roy Cathey of the band The Fifth. Now, just a few more questions. When you said you're going to be working on the next EP, any thoughts on when that may be out to the public, or when it may be finished? Or y'all still too early in the stages to tell?
Well, you know, we've got the material written. All we have to do is kind of go through the pre-production stage, work it in with the guys, especially Chuck, the new drummer. You know, I'm hoping early 2017, somewhere hopefully around February is what I'm kind of shooting for. That's where I'm trying to target it. But you know, things can change. You know, it could really fall together really quickly, and we can get into the studio sooner. So fingers crossed. But definitely going to be early 2017.
In closing of this interview, man, when a fan comes in, buys a ticket, comes to the show, what can they expect when the Fifth takes stage?
We're a very entertaining band to watch. We're not the type that's going to stare down at the floor. We are very much a visual band. You get your money's worth when you come to see us. I'm a firm believer in having stars in the band. This isn't the Roy show. I've got Icky Jim on one side. I've got David Franco on the other, who's just a monster bass player who, reminds me a lot of Robert Trujillo of Metallica with his stage moves. And, I've got Chuck Tipton back on the drums. That is a very visual drummer. So, we believe in putting on a visual show as well as the audio. So it's a full package type thing, and there will be alcohol consumed, and there will be good times had. So a Fifth show is a lot of fun. It's nothing that you'll be bored at. If you're bored at a Fifth show, you're dead.
Well, that was Roy Cathey from the band The Fifth, tremendous band from Fayetteville, North Carolina. And you can check the band out there at check them out there on the Fifth there at Facebook, and also tweet them at the Fifth NC. They got a YouTube channel, or ReverbNation.com/the Fifth. Let's go ahead and play the entire song. No Going Home. This is a new single from the band The Fifth. I'm the Big Dog, and we're out because we're closing with this song. Enjoy your Labor Day. Go get drunk. Be safe. God bless.